What's up, boys and girls? Welcome back to another edition of Gate 7 International after a lovely 3-0 win over Ionikos. Business as usual. Lambro, how you feeling today, buddy?
I'm doing good. I'm back in Geneva, back in the swing of things. It's great to be back in my natural podcasting atmosphere. I love my old chair, my desk, my desktop. I don't know. It feels natural doing these on a winter night, heater behind me, cup of tea. It feels like, I don't know. It feels like I'm back to the OG podcast. So it's nice.
There you go. You've been like around the world in 2 weeks.
I have indeed. It's been a long trip, a lot of flying, not ideal. Didn't get COVID, maybe. We'll see. But yeah, we'll see.
Hey, listen, you sound pretty good to me, and we'll take it, man. As long as everybody's healthy, that's all we can ask for. If you guys haven't done so already, please don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button at the bottom of this video, subscribe as well. We broke 1,000 subscribers last week. Thank you guys so much for your help and help us continue to grow this community. Also, if you don't already, follow us on all the different social media platforms. A lot of content coming out on everything. A couple of quick housekeeping items as well, boys, before we get started. If you haven't checked out the videos already, a couple of deep dives have been posted. 2 weeks ago, we also put the video up of the Martins video. The video where we kind of look through everything that's gone on the last 4 years. That video's up. Have gotten great feedback from you guys on that. Check it out. The Carvalho deep dive is also up. You guys voted on what you wanted for the next deep dive. Every platform kind of had like their own winner in that respect, but the total votes altogether were for Carvalho. So that is going to be up, or sorry, that is up as well. Check it out and let us know if you like it. Lastly, guys, we want to thank our sponsor, Pérase International. Pérase International is your one-stop shop, as you know at this point, for all of your international trans-shipping needs, whether you're shipping olive oil, cars, what have you, marble, you name it, they'll ship it to and from Greece. Doesn't matter. Give our friends a call, 410-675-4696, or email sales@piraseintl.com. Lambro, and there have been some people that reached out to Pérase. They let me know. There's some people that have sent some things. So there you go. It's crazy stuff, man.
I may reach out. I may reach out. I'm finishing my studies here. Who knows if I'm still here in 6 months? I'll be reaching out to the port, to the business to ship my stuff off. I don't want my espresso maker here to go to waste. If I have to leave, it will be in Athens waiting for me the next time. So we'll see. Also, side note, I'm going to be in Greece in 2 weeks as well, hopefully for the Atalanta game. Let's see if they let us go.
Whew. We'll see. Well, boys, we did bring up on social media that we are going to do a segment of Ask Us Anything. Once we get through the post-match stuff for Ionikos, we will do an Ask Us Anything. So you can ask whatever question, anything. It can be football related or not. It's up to you. You ask the question, we answer it. Doesn't matter the topic. But on the subject of post-match Ionikos, big 3-0 win today. Also a goal that was disallowed in the first couple minutes of the game. Another game, 2 games in a row, basically, where Olympiakos is starting off strong, starting off the game very strong, pressing high, pressuring, making opportunities. Unfortunately, that early goal in the 3rd or 4th minute was disallowed. But in the end, it didn't matter. We still got 3 goals. Later on in that first half, we did get a goal, a wonder strike from Agibu Kamara. And in the end, it's 3-0. We take the 3 points. And the team seems to be hitting stride in a perfect time. Abandoned the 3-4-3 finally, back to the 4-2-3-1. And the team is finally looking like it's going to click, or things are clicking rather. Lambro, how did you feel about the game today?
I'm not gonna lie, I fell asleep in the second half. I'm really jet lagged as well. I'm not gonna I was really tired, but I saw most of the game enough, and I rewatched the parts I fell asleep at. And I just want to say things are so much better moving to 4-2-3-1, except I will say creatively, things are so much better including with Agibu Kamara returning, including Mathieu Valbuena starting to play. I think that's a big factor in Olympiakos starting to create. But one factor that 4-2-3-1, 3-4-3 that has been a theme all season is the defensive fragility. And I'd be really interested to see what the XG was the past two games, because I think both Panetolikos and Ionikos had decent chances against us. I really think defensively we're still slightly weak, but in the 3-4-3, I think we're quite weak for a 5 at the back, 3 at the back formation as well. That's one thing I'll point out. I think Socrates has been quite poor recently. I don't know what's going on. I think there's a bigger theme as well, a conversation to be had. We have a slide, some pictures as well. But anyway, I think it's a great sign. Things are getting much better. I never expected everything to get better at once, right? But this is looking much better. 4-2-3-1. But I still think defensively there's some big worries, and I can't put my finger on it. I wonder if the data tells us something, the XG tells us something, because I really don't think it matters, because I think both in 4-2-3-1 we are fragile defensively, but also in 3-4-3. So I don't know, Adi. I don't know if you've noticed the same things or if I'm starting out of nowhere.
I think for me, the problem at the very least when it comes to the 3-4-3 is that we have the tendency to invite pressure, right? And I think even though maybe we have the extra defender there, we always seem to play further back and we invite more pressure. But when it comes to the opportunities that have been against us, the last game against Panetolikos, their total XG was 0.56, I think. They only had a handful of opportunities. The ones really the opportunities that they got were half of them were outside of the 18. I mean, they had 4 chances that were 22 to 25 meters. Those are very, very rare opportunities for people to make in general. We're talking about under 0.01 XG. They did have the first shot, the Vergos shot that I remember that was early on, and then the Adunes one that they missed. But that game against Panetolikos where we won 3-1, there was not much that they did to us. Even in this game, there were opportunities. I will say we did allow a couple more dangerous opportunities. The one where Jan Villa got kind of, when he was covering back for Oleg, and he got kind of split open on the ball and then just was too slow to recover. Then the Socrates had a handful. For the most part, I don't think we are giving up a lot of major opportunities, but at the same time, we're playing a lot better. Overall, if we're looking at, let's say, even the last few games, like the game against Yanina, where we won 2-0 with the 3-4-3, if I remember correctly, their XG was 0.01. It was nothing. I mean, they literally had 0 opportunities on target.
That was like I remember talking to you about this in the chat. Yeah. They like literally played like a backup center back at striker because they had so many COVID cases. So. But I don't know if that's an anomaly in the data, but you know what I mean?
Well, no, it's not. Here's why. Because even though we lost that first cup game, that first leg of the cup to Panetolikos, they only had an XG in that game of 0.8. And that was another game that they didn't have a lot of great opportunities either. They scored on 2 of them, but both of those goals were savable goals. And you can argue that Christensen should have had those, and he didn't. So same thing against Panetolikos in the derby match. They might have played slightly better than us, but they didn't have great opportunities. You know what I mean? Defensively, we've been on a whole pretty sound. And that hasn't been the problem this season. The problem this season has been creative. And at the very least, in the last couple games, we've seen that the creativity has been better. Against Panetolikos, we scored 3 goals this past week. And the XG was over 3. I guarantee you this game, the XG is going to be over 3 as well. We had a lot of good opportunities. We had 1 goal that was called back that won't even count towards any XG metric because of the offside. But we made opportunities, and that's, for me, that's how I determine sustainability. I want to see how consistently we're creating opportunities, and not just that. How good are the opportunities we're making? And we made a few good ones. We had a lot of solid opportunities made. And that's 2 games in a row where we've been able to do that. And that, for me, is great because we're starting to hit stride now at a really important time before this Atalanta game. And I really, really, really hope this continues, because the only way we have a shot at beating Atalanta is if they continue their downward trend and then we continue to play well. Even then, we're still not a favorite. Even then, it's still a smaller probability that we're going to, go beyond. Whereas before, I think maybe we thought there was a 5% chance we could go. Maybe now there's like a 15% chance. But still, we need this scenario to play out to give us a better chance of doing something against Atalanta. That's kind of how I feel about it. For me, the important part is we're playing better, and Atalanta is not playing very well. And that, I hope that continues, because that's the only way that we're going to get anything out of this next Europa League leg. I don't know how you feel about that.
No, I think that's right. I see this comment now as well. I actually just caught like 15-20 minutes of this game. I was just surfing the TV and saw it was on, so I was like, okay, I'll take a look. And it didn't look great, to be honest. They didn't look great. I don't know. I was looking at their lineups to try to see how they're lining up, and it seemed like maybe they either have some injury problems or a COVID situation, because they have a lot of people out. I don't know to be honest, I don't follow them whatsoever, so I don't know what the situation is. That's something maybe we're going to be asking around, what the situation is. But we'll see. I don't know. What we're going to... Wait, I get it. That's too funny. Pedro Martins is tuning in tonight, guys. He's tuning in. 343, very that? Good. Henry, good player.
Is it really Pedro Martins?
It's got to be. No, it's not Pedro Martins.
It's got to be. He watches the show.
Barely understands English, I bet you. But I don't know. I don't think we have a big chance at all. I just think the only thing I think that we can do it is at home, that second leg in Piraeus. I think maybe we can do something. And if this government can wake up and let us into the stadium, God damn it, I will be there. So we'll see. I think we have a chance if we keep it close. I think we always have a chance.
Here's a good question, and Costa, I think you should get the first answer on this, since you're just joining in here. From Michalis Alexiou, do you think Martin's contract extension is a reason for the better games? What do you think about that?
So my initial reaction to that is that there is a sense of more stability. There's less of an unknown factor. What's going to happen? Is he going to renew? Is he not? I think that brings a certain amount of, calm into the dressing room until the end of the season, at least, because I still think there's an open opportunity for him if a Premier League club comes knocking, for example. We know that the club in general doesn't, get in the way of players or managers or anyone they have respect for. If there's a big club coming knocking. So I don't know. I think, like you guys said, the performances have improved somewhat, and we start to see the engine start to kind of kick into third gear. And I've said that a lot during the course of the season so far, that it just seems like we're in first, second, and kind of getting wins 1-0, 2-1, whatever, and not really playing. Now you see players like Madi Camara starting to pick up some sort of rhythm. And I think we saw that to an extent in the second half, because I have to say, when he changed the formation from a 4-2-3-1 to a 4-3-3, I thought, okay, that's going to bring us some stability, because Bouchalakis always brings balance. He always brings balance to the team. We can knock him a lot for some of the more creative elements, getting the ball forward, but he contributes to ball possession and, keeping more control, controlling the game. We didn't leak any opportunities against in the second half. And that's because the team was more balanced with him in the team. What I fear when that happens, and this happens in Europe, guys, 4-3-3, I just think, where's the creativity going to come from? Who's going to play the killer ball? Who's going to break through the lines? Who's going to pick out Onyekuru or Masouras? And today, Maddie had a bit more of that engine fire, you know. He's still not there yet. He's still not anywhere near his peak. And so while I think we're improving, I don't quite think we're ready for that more high tempo European game. But the good news is, as you said, that we look to be kind of on the up, and Atalanta are currently in a bit of a slump. So those are my thoughts on the Pedro issue and a bit more broadly.
Our boy Pedro Martin's here. You know, yes, real Pedro. Ba, no yellow card. Good. This is another thing. Yes, Ba did not get a yellow card. Yes,
played like 2 minutes. Are we kidding? Are we being serious?
Listen, any appearance where he doesn't get a yellow card, it's always a good thing. From Lifer 828 here, tragic defense. Socrates has slow reactions. Oleg looks very tired.
Ari,
yeah,
I just wanted to say we're gonna do the ask us anything section more broadly after we finish post match, because I see some really tasty questions. Costa, thank you very much. What is your Olympiakos all-time starting 11? Stick around for that one, because we've got generations here. So stick around for that one. That's going to be very tasty. Thank you, Costa.
That will be a fun one. There's a couple comments coming in here about Maritsolakis. Good thing Cisse is coming back. From Platon Papas here, it's clear to me that without Cisse, we're going to have a problem. Manolas too slow and Socrates too. Well, Cisse is definitely faster than both of them. I don't think Manolas did a lot wrong today. I think he was okay most of the time, but Socrates is vulnerable. Unfortunately, if we're caught kind of in stride a little bit, he is a little bit slower, and he was caught out of position a couple of times. And then of course there's the other part of Lifer 828's comment was that Oleg looks very tired. He does look very tired, and we've brought this up. This guy has played more minutes than most players play in a whole season already. I went through, by the way, to see what the average amount of time played is. 50% of players for a full season won't play as much as Oleg has played to this point before this game today. That is absurd. That should be absurd to all of you. Because it just boggles my mind that we haven't yet found, one, an alternate left back to give him competition so that he can, get better. But two, God forbid he gets injured. What do we do? What are you going to do at left
new
back?
signing, baby.
He wasn't even on the bench. We didn't even have a left back.
He wasn't on the bench anywhere.
Is he going to play this Wednesday?
On the bench. There was no left back on the bench.
So Socrates is a good left back.
They'll move Androutsos over there.
Androutsos is a better left back than right back. I'm putting it on the table. I'm saying it. It's true. But I will say, Adi, Socrates, I don't know what the hell has happened. Maybe he's played too many matches as well. Maybe that's a problem. He's played a lot of games, because that night in Frankfurt where me and Costa were there, he was freaking unbelievable. I don't know what the hell has happened. I just think he's quite old. Can we be honest? And he's played a lot of football in his life. And how old is the guy? 34? He's taken wear and tear. He's had a lot of injuries. And I don't know. I just don't think he's an Olympiakos style defender too. Normal, having the ball so much, passing. And I don't know if that even makes sense. But I don't know. There seems to be... I don't think the gelling of Olympiakos and Socrates has been perfect, Does that make sense? The gelling, of coming.
Coach Martin's here. Oleg good, no need left way.
Whoever's made this fantastic. What a But would you guys agree with that? Do you think Socrates has fit the Olympiakos culture really well? I don't think I've seen it. Maybe it's with the pandemic, and I just feel it's not a match made in heaven. Does that make sense?
Well,
I don't know.
And
I feel the fans have a shorter leash with Socrates as well. Does that make sense? And he's.
But define what you mean by that. Define what you mean that he hasn't fit.
I don't know.
With
culturally, or I don't know. Costa, does this make any sense, or am I full of shit? What? I just feel like it's not working super well. I don't know. I don't know how to put it into words properly. It's just a feeling. I don't know.
I don't know, like, because on the field, Socrates pretty quickly, in my opinion, when he came last season, I thought he gelled at least pretty well. And then when he did fit in, he was pretty solid at the back. I think it could be maybe a number of things. First of all, when we look at how he's been the last couple of games, maybe there is a little bit of fatigue. You know, he is playing a lot for his age. Maybe there is a little bit of fatigue there. And in the partnership with Manola, right, he might have to do a little bit more. He might have to do a little bit more physical activity than Cisse. Cisse covers a lot more ground, and maybe when he plays with Cisse, he can afford to kind of take a step back and more as like a watchdog type of role, right? When you have one center back that plays more stopper-esque and the other that plays more, just stays a little deeper. So that could be it. And also, I'm going to point out that we have had the most pressure on our back line when there is the absence of a certain midfielder in our squad. And that member is Bouchalakis. When Bouchalakis is not on the field, we stress our back line. Why is that? The reason is Jan Villa is also slow. Not that he's a bad player, but when he is not on point positionally, he gets exposed because he's slower. And Mari's further up the pitch. That's Mari's preference. And this year, Mari has not been as good tracking back as he usually is. So we have one really solid defensive midfielder on the team right now, and it's Bouchalakis. And it shows when he's not on the pitch. So for me, it's like a combination of those things. And that's kind of how I look at it. So I personally still think Socrates is a good fit, but there's just more context to it.
The only thing I would add to that is that Socrates has a similar body, I feel, to Bouchalakis in a sense that when he gets injured, and because he's 32, 33, however old he is, when you get injured at that age and you have that kind of body, you need some games, some rhythm to kind of get back into the swing. And I feel like he struggled. He's had these niggly injuries from time to time. And I think that's shown on the pitch. But otherwise, I completely agree with you, both against Panetolikos and today, and in games where we've looked at him and he's got exposed. It's been in games where we've played four at the back and Bouchalakis has not been in midfield, and we've had a lot of pressure on the defense. And Manolas isn't 100% either. So it's one of those things. And I was saying during the game that, my God, I can't wait until Cisse comes back, and I hope nothing, doesn't get injured. He's not playing today.
He's not playing tonight. Yeah,
he's not for the moment. He's not on the pitch. But that raises another question for me, which is, we need a centre back in the summer, because it's all well and good we bought Manolas. Cisse's probably going to go on a big money transfer in the summer. Let's not kid ourselves. Yeah, and Socrates is getting older. And then there's the whole Markovic question, which I don't know what the hell this guy's done to be just thrown out the team. And I don't really want to go into that further. I'm asking some journalists questions like, okay, what the hell's going on, and trying to get an inside story there. But for the moment,
he's still on the team as well, right?
Yeah.
Well,
he didn't leave to Cyprus.
No.
He didn't leave. And now they're saying we're accepting 800,000 for him, and we bought him
to go back to Partizan. Yeah,
it's insane.
Yeah. Wait, but the Turks are interested as well. But I think their window closes in a few days. I don't know.
The rumor, the prevailing rumor, and this is completely unsubstantiated, but the prevailing rumor is that the part of the reason for this is that he refused to play for the B team. And so he's been getting this treatment because it's punishment for him not playing for the B team. Similar to the Pinakas thing. Again, this is not substantiated. This is just a rumor I have seen going around. So maybe that's the case. I don't know. Hopefully we find out one way or another what the deal actually is. It is unfortunate. I know we're saving the questions for the Ask Us Anything, but this one is relevant to the game. How serious is the Rodrigues injury? And this is going to depend on the type of injury that he sustained. I thought when he had grabbed when the run started, he grabbed like the inside of his thigh. I thought he grabbed a little more high up on the thigh. I thought maybe it was groin. Costa, you brought up an adductor, which is actually, after I looked it up, a way more common injury. And it is not just on the outside of the leg like I thought. It also is on the inside too. So looks like it could be.
So I just was doing a quick scan before we came on, and it's adductor.
It is adductor.
The first reaction from the medics is that it's an adductor issue, as I feared, because when I saw that, it's recurring. It's happened. It's the same time with him. Every time he gets on the pitch, I think the last game against Panetolikos, he finished, or I can't remember if he got subbed off. Did he play 90 minutes in the last game? Can one of you look that up? He's fragile. Like glass is fragile. Glass is stronger than he is. And adductors is complicated, guys. It affects like the muscles between the legs and the abs. If you start having abdominal problems as a football player, no good. That might mean surgery. I mean, I'm not jumping the gun, but an adductor injuries are serious, guys, and they keep coming.
Don't worry. Just like Kenny, they'll inject something into that abductor, that groin. Godspeed. He's good to go, baby. That's how we do it. He's good. Don't worry. Just give him the little injection. No problems. That's how they solve everything. Just like Kenny. I bet you they were like, Kenny's out for 3 weeks. They're like, hey, Kenny, we got this magical shot we'll put in your ankle. You'll feel great tonight. There we go. There we go. But to be honest, it's a real blow, guys, until Yorgos Masouras comes on and scores a goal and wins a penalty. And you're like, where the hell has this been for 4 months? You know what I mean? It's like, oh, shit, here we go. Masouras coming on again to burn our eyes a little bit with his terrible dribbling. And then he does that, right? So it's kind of like, I know it's a big blow, but if Masouras plays like that, I don't know if we need him. I guess we do need him. I don't know. I still have no idea. There's no way we play 4-2-3-1 against Napoli, Atalanta. You know what I mean? So, I if he plays 3-4-3, we're gonna die. What I think he needs to do is play 3-5-2. There's the genius right there with Masouras and Taquinho up top. That's it. But I don't know. Is Mattia Valbuena gonna start on the wing against Atalanta? You know what I mean? I'm worried. I'm worried about that, a little bit. It's working well, and the team's turning around, and we're seemingly playing better football, but I don't know if it's sustainable, one, because of the situation with Valbuena, and I don't know.
So before we kind of jump to Atalanta, there's one other thing that needs to be said. I'm sorry I missed the first few minutes, but in the first half today, if it wasn't for our keeper, we'd be eating 3 goals and we'd be going into the half at least 3-1 down, guys.
Yeah.
Because some of the saves that he made, that one-on-one, and then the double save, like the one low, and then the shot that was rocketed from outside the box that he tipped over, guys, it needs to be said, we'd be 3-1 down if it wasn't for Thomas Vaclik in the first half. That needs to be said.
Well, there's a solution for Atalanta, right, to prevent that. And Coach Pedro Martins has it. We're going to play 9-1. And actually, quick tangent, because we forgot. Congratulations to Nottingham Forest for doing a number on Leicester. Wow. Thank you, Costa.
4-1, man. They beat the two last victors of the FA Cup, right? Arsenal and Leicester were the last 2 teams that won it. That's well in for them, huh? Maybe they go
take a screenshot.
This isn't wrong. This isn't wrong. And
George is right here, bringing us all down back to reality. Why do you have to do that? It's a beautiful Sunday night. It's not too cold. It's not raining. Just have to bring us back down to reality. But
for the audio guys, for the audio guys, Kefalas is saying victories against teams of the Greek league are in no way indicative of Olympiakos' strength. The team has too many problems, and Atalanta will prove it. We will lose both games. Sorry to cut you off.
We're not losing in the Karaiskaki. I'm telling that. If we have fans, we're not losing there. That's it. I'm saying it. You know why, Costa? Because I'll be there. So we don't lose when I'm in the Karaiskaki. So that's it. That's it. So no, but seriously, I think going to George's point, the barometer is going to be next week, Sunday, when we play with AEK. I think if the team produces a good result, plays some nice football, we can turn it around. We can turn it around, or not turn it around, but we can feel some sort of confidence. Feel like, okay, we're not going to go there to get our ass kicked, but a nice performance with AEK would give me much more confidence than what we saw tonight. I don't know if that's a fair point, but that's my point.
I think as much as I agree with the point that he made, for me at least, if we're playing awfully in Greece, that also doesn't tell us anything good. Not that he's wrong, but as long as we're playing well in Greece and we're playing to the level that we expect, then at least it tells us that things are sort of going in the right direction, right? Like if I had way worse feelings before when we were playing like dog shit in Greece, because then I knew for sure we were going to play like dog shit in Europe, because that's what happened in the beginning of the season. But if we're playing well in Greece, there's a higher likelihood to me that we could play better in Europe. I think that seems pretty logical to me at the very least, right? So it at least should say something.
It couldn't get worse though, Ari. It couldn't get any worse. Like any kind of rhythm that we can build up, like
you're not wrong.
You're not wrong. Because I mean, we've all been saying it. Some of us more loudly than the other, but it's not been watchable this season. And still now it's like 5 or 10 minute kind of flashes in a game, which is, as George Kefalas was saying, is good for Greece to play 5-10 minutes football.
Yeah.
But in Europe, where the tempo is much higher and continuous, is going to be very difficult. But it's a positive. We have to try and take it as a positive sign that we are building some rhythm. And you see in some of the comments of the players as well on social media, that they talk about building confidence. A lot of them in the comments that they make. So I think it has been an issue in the squad, and it can't get worse. It can only get better.
Yeah, baby steps, I guess. Baby steps. That's how we say it. And I think one question I have is, will certain players be able to get that rhythm before the game? So looking at this picture here that we've just put up, Tiquinho looks like he's in decent form. Manolas is getting up to fitness. Kenny Lala is finally putting matches together. But I have a few questions about how's Pape Cissé going to get back into the team? Is it going to be a smooth re-entrance after this African Cup of Nations? If they win the African Cup of Nations, do they go straight to Senegal and celebrate first? I would assume yes, right? Like they don't just like win it and then they're like, we're off to Europe, we're done. They surely they go back to, you know what I mean? I don't want to put an eye on them or something, but surely they go celebrate, right? Or I don't know. Could you imagine if Greece won the Euros and then it's like, okay, we're back to our club team? You know what I mean? So surely they go back and celebrate if they win. So will he be celebrating for a few days? He will only have the AEK match maybe then to get match fitness. So are we going to just throw him into Atalanta with one match? I have questions about some of these things, as well as Henry Onyekuru, who I wrote in our chat. I think if we go through with Atalanta, will play a role. I know that sounds fucking insane, but
hot take.
He just has something on the counterattack. I don't know if you guys noticed that, where he pressed his body, kind of backed into someone, let the ball go and turned him and ran off and drew a yellow card. I think that was the movement. And you were like, yeah, that's good. Like, where has this been? You know what I mean? Like, if you do this in Europe, this is huge. Like, we really need this. No one else we have can fucking do this. Like, Ronnie Lopez maybe did it 10 years ago, 20 kilos lighter, but like doesn't do it anymore. So if you can do this, we could use you for 30 minutes. You know what I mean? And that could be a goal. That could be a cross. That could be whatever the hell it is. But I'd love to see Henry Onyekuru play like 60 to 90 minutes against Panetolikos. Is that too much to ask for? I don't know.
Listen,
that's my big thing.
What you brought up, this is what we asked for. This is what we thought we could see in the deep dive. That was the value, but you actually have to do it. You know what I mean? So it would be great if we actually saw it, if he could do it more consistently, but that was probably like the second or third time we've seen it all season. So there is a comment here, and I think we actually have a graphic for this. So Eleftherios Machinis, we did not tell him to comment this, but boy, he is teeing this up perfectly. Guys, the title is easy. We will not lose it. PAOK has the better results the last matches, but with 8 penalties. Just 8 penalties? Just 8? Guys, I put together last night ahead of the match weeks for this weekend. For the last 4 seasons, the penalties, the number of penalties that have been awarded to teams playing in the top flight of Greek football. And so for the last 4 seasons, I was curious, because I have had some PAOK fans telling me that, oh, it's, we don't get the most penalties. It's just this season. So I put it together, and this is what I have for the last 4 seasons. Since Pedro Martins basically came to Olympiakos, this is how many penalties have been awarded to each team. And PAOK has been awarded a grand total of, just in the Super League, this is just the league, not the cup, 45 penalties in 4 seasons. I tried to look up in other leagues a team that was averaging almost 12 penalties a season, and I could not find one. 45 penalties. This is absurd. 10 more penalties than the next team. Absurd stuff. In the meantime, everyone wants to tell us that EPO is red and the referees are red. And we don't even have more penalties than the majority of the big 6 teams or big 5 teams, whatever.
Wait,
what do you guys
Adi,
think about this?
Yeah. Is AUK lower because they were in the 2nd division? Oh, wait, no. That's 2018. No. Sorry. I got misconfused. I thought they were still in the 2nd or 3rd division. Sorry about that, but no, that's just normal. That's just normal AUK. I'm sorry. And also, Panetolikos again tonight crying on the television about not getting a penalty and that the refs are against us in Greece and blah, blah, blah. Like, one life like this crying.
Yep. The ones crying that they don't get enough are the ones getting the most calls. It's lovely.
Panetolikos plays like the worst football I've ever seen in my life. And they're crying about the referee. And Veles was on Greek TV saying they're stealing food from our families by not giving us good penalties. And so Greek, man. So taking bread from his family. Are you kidding me? This guy's a clown. I don't know. The Panetolikos fans are hilarious. They're like, we lose clear penalties on the radio, crying. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. But
they've had a lot of practice at it. So they're good at it.
But I couldn't believe the guy with the line. Come on, who says the referees are taking bread from my children? He actually said that. Like, that's a good line. I'm gonna say that one day. I think I'll save that one to be used. But yeah. So. It's crazy, though, with this Kurtic guy scoring so many goals. Once I had a friend, he was like, what is up with Kurtic played for Parma? He was like a 6. He's your leading goal scorer in Greece. I was like, yeah, that's how things work here. That's how they work. But what can you say?
Well, what can you say?
What can you say?
The graph says it all.
Yeah. That's when you need the Starchidia mask graphic as well. That's a good one.
need to put that on the slide.
But quick question now. So moving back to reality, on Wednesday, what type of lineup would you guys put out with Panetolikos, knowing we need a goal, we need to win, blah, blah, blah? You put out a strong lineup, or you put out, again, maybe Fadiga, maybe Henry Onyekuru, maybe the Greek, how do they say, Kafu, Thanasis Androutsos? Like, what do you think?
I would put a weaker team. Or I would put players that need rhythm.
Yeah. Carvalho, will this guy finally play?
I've said it before, guys. For me, cup is I don't give a shit about the cup. I really don't care. Put João Carvalho in, put Fadiga in, put Kitsos in, put Karvobnik in at right back, put Dolagis in goal, put Bagalianis in at the back, play Pinakas, play Henry. I I really don't care, and I don't care if we get knocked out of the cup. Really, I don't.
Yeah, I mean, the Costa 10 is the next game in the cup. Yes, the next game is the second leg of our cup against Panetolikos. That is correct. And Costa, I do the same thing, to be honest with you. We're home, right? The first leg was away. So it's a home game in the cup. I wouldn't play the full team either. I would play same thing.
Me on nightmares.
Right. But that's me personally. That's you personally as well. But we know that the club wants to win the double. So I have a feeling we're going to see, at the very least for the first half, like an 8-team lineup in the starting 11 to overcome the deficit. That's what I think. That's what I think it's going to be.
I think that part of the reason we made a lot of signings over the winter break in January was also to kind of beef up the squad and say to the manager, like, okay, you got players, go out and, you know, use your squad and make sure you win the cup as well. And if you need to use players that aren't your starting 11, you've got players. You've got Agibu, you've got Carvalho, you've got Rodrigues, you've got Onyekuru, you've got Masouras, you've got options, huh? You've got options, so go and do it. You don't want to play Tiquinho, play El Arabi. You know? He has options for that. So I think that factors into it as well. But I agree, like the club clearly, it's one of those things where I think the club always wants to win the double in Greece. And then the manager's like, meh, not so bothered. If I'm staying in the summer as well, players can have a bit more break if they don't have to wait 2 weeks from when the league finishes to when the cup's played, which is ridiculous. Let alone this shit show with Epo, and, you know, when we won the cup 2 years ago, they didn't even wait to hand over the cup. There was no ceremony. They just left it and we went and picked it up. Where have you seen that before? So why should we show respect to the Greek Cup as an institution, as a competition, when the people that run it, they have no respect for themselves? So I don't care.
Also, the trophy is atrocious. It looks like a piece of plastic. Can we discuss that? The trophy is just, I don't know who designed that. Like someone in their garage put that thing together. Like it's like a little steering wheel made of plastic. Like, come on now. Like, what are we doing here? Who makes these trophies? They ran out of money? Because the league trophy I like, it's like not so much a steering wheel or some bullshit. It's got some weight to it, you know? There's some real metal put in that thing. But like the cup is just, it's not like the FA Cup where you can't even lift it in England. It's like even the little child in the background's waving the thing around. Like, I don't like it. I don't rate it.
Well, before we get a little bit too much more off topic, let's close up the post-match with our usual man of the match and coach's grade. Then we can go into the Ask Us Anything, because there's quite a few questions here that people have started to ask. So, Lambro, get started. Man of the match, coach's grade.
So I did the match ratings this week. You'll see that on our social media, everyone, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Please follow us all there. And of course, subscribe if you haven't done so already on YouTube, on podcast platforms, wherever you listen, and follow us too. Like as well. I guess that's a thing to say. Comment. I think that helps the algorithm, as they say. But man of the match, I was torn between Yorgos Masouras and Vaclik, but I think in the end, I gave it to Vaclik because of the importance and the timeliness of the saves he made and the stability he brings to the back line as well, with poor performances from Socrates. And this is fake news, because the League Cup is better than the trophy, Andreas. I'm sure of it. Pull the pictures up, Costa. Pull the pictures up and put them in the slideshow. But anyway, no, I'm going to say Vaclik was the man of the match. From Pedro Martins, he's starting to do the things right, like that I want him to do. I think Mattia Valbuena at like 38 years old is crucial to Olympiakos' creativity at the moment. Without Fortunis, without fit João Carvalho, with poor El Arabi, I think he needs to be playing, and I was happy to see him playing. And I think he realized the situation with 3-4-3 and has moved away from it. And the bravery to go with Tiquinho, to start playing Tiquinho, giving him more matches over El Arabi, I think that's the correct decision at this point, even though I'm one of the biggest fans of El Arabi. As I say in my match review thing, I think Tiquinho in Europe is so valuable because of the pace and pressing that he will bring, his ability in the air on set pieces as well from crosses. It's really important to get him ready to go. So yeah, I would give him an A. I was happy with him. 3-0, clean sheet. I think he managed the game quite well. I thought he made the right subs. I think Bouchalakis was a good sub. As much as I was disappointed to see Valbuena go off, I think he brought stability. So yeah.
Costa.
Man of the match. Honourable shout out to this guy for an absolute corker in the first half. So there's a picture there of Agibu celebrating after the goal. Did we mention that? What a goal that was in the first half. It just laid out in front of him perfectly and he struck it so cleanly, walloped it into the top corner. So honourable shout out Agibu Kamara. We've missed him so much. He's been a breath of fresh air in the midfield since he came back from AFCON. He's given us that press. And I think it was, again, he started one of the goals from a steal. So yeah, great performance from him today. Masouras, obviously. I think when I saw your player ratings, Labrador, and I saw 8.5 for Masouras, I was like, it's a bit high. But then you did mention he won the penalty and he scored the goal. So, okay, fair enough. But in the end, like I alluded to earlier, Vachlik, for me, man of the match. Because if he's not there, we're 3 goals down in the first half. So for me, Thomas Vachlik, man of the match. Again, I think he was man of the match against Yanina as well for us. And coach's grade B+. I think it's not a sexy move to go back to the 4-3-3, but it's what we needed. And it helped us to get the result and it helped us to see out the game in the second half and get the win. So, by definition and by the result, it's, he did well today, the coach. So B+ for me.
Sounds good.
Sure.
I am going to change it up a little bit. I'm going to give Agibu Kamara my man of the match.
Oh, Jesus. That's atrocious. That's terrible.
I gave Vachlik better in the match last time. I can't do it 2 times in a row. So I'm going to give it to Agibu. Amazing first goal. And then he also played the ball into Masouras when Masouras scored. He was involved heavily in the offense today. I thought he did very well. Didn't like disappear in and out of the game a lot as we have been accustomed to him this season. And it's Costa, you said it correctly. He's a breath of fresh air now that he's back. The only real number 10 that we have besides an aging Valbuena, of course. So a great job by him. And I'm also going to give Coach Martins an A. And I think this is the first time I've given Martins a back-to-back A in my post-match ratings. I gave him an A in the post-match, the short video that we did for Panetolikos, and he's got an A now. So he's doing the right things for me. I like the starting lineup. I like the changes that he made. And I hope that he continues to do the good stuff going forward.
All right. Does that mean we can get to the Ask Us Anything section?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
And we start with the most important question.
Before we do, because there's a lot of people coming back in, guys, don't forget to hit that like button if you like what you're listening to. If you're new, stick around, listen to what we have to say. If you like what we're saying or if you like the show, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the bell as well. That means that you'll get a notification every time a new episode is up. Help us to keep extending the community and bringing together Olympiakos fans from all over the world. And yeah, let's hit it. There are some questions from Instagram as well that I'll bring in, guys. But should we go from the top and see what we find?
We have to start with Spiro's question.
Here we go.
Τα παιδιά
που μιλάνε είναι Έλληνες.
Δεν μπορεί.
Είναι Έλληνες αυτοί. Πάντα Έλληνες.
Okay. But anyway,
we're Greek.
Είμαι Αργεντινός. Sorry.
Three of us are Greek, born outside of Greece, obviously. Στα φροντιστήρια δεν μαθαίνεις τόσο καλά τα αγγλικά. One of us who's not here today, Peter, is full-on American friends with these two guys, big time Olympiakos fan. So that's part of what we're trying to do as well, is make Olympiakos fans out of non-Greeks. So spread the word.
Yeah, it's happening. Also, I want to put a twist on Kostas' question, the all-time lineup. I'm just going to go all-time, just people who come into my head. Is that okay? I'm just going to do that.
You're Labros Sirmos, so of course it's okay.
So I can do it. So can we start with that question? Because I'm really into it. So I'm going to... Okay. Here's Kostas' lineup. That's a good one.
Should we leave this to the end? Should we leave this to the end?
Should we leave it to the end? Because I really want... I want to name my... Can I name my random lineup now, though? Can I do that?
Wait to the end.
Please, I'll do an all-time one, but I want to do a random one just for the laugh. Is that okay? Right now, it's in my. Just do it. I'm going Blaise Megeri in goal. That's my team right there.
Is this
Leo Salino? This is just whatever comes in my head.
Okay.
Alberto Bautia at the back, and I want to partner him with Vukovic.
Marcano.
Marcano's good. At left back, I want to play Ali Sissoko. Very nice player, if you remember him. I want to play in the midfield Delvin Endinga. That's a nice one, okay?
Hey, that's a good one.
That's a good one, no? Next to him, Benzema. That's a good one.
Benzema. He needs to be 40 before he comes to Greece.
And then on the wing, I'm going to put Mathieu Sevi on the left. That's a nice one. On the right, I have to go Pardo for
Juan Pablo Pino.
Pino's nice.
Oh my
that's
God.
a nice
one.
Pino. But at 10, we need a leader of these guys. We need a leader, goddammit. David Fuster will be the leader in the at the 10.
Yes.
He will lead these boys out there. And then the striker who will score us all the goals, Franco Jara or Nelson Valdez.
Oh
that's
my
the lineup,
God.
baby. That's
Franco
the old-timer.
Jara.
That's it.
Stop.
That's the question Costa wanted answered.
Yeah,
that's
so
the team.
You almost want to do like a starting 11 of Coates. That's what.
No, this is a good team. This team wins the league this year in Greece, I'm sure.
Oh my God. Here you go.
But anyway, that's it. I wanted to start.
You forgot Seba, man.
I was between Seba and Pardo, but I feel like Pardo's more just gives us a bit more.
Oh God. Well, here we go. He's got we'll do our best. We'll try our best to get Fustero on the pod. That would be legendary. But here's a good question. From the Costa 10, question for the segment: are there any players for the B team you think could provide value to the team in the future? Who should we keep our eyes on? I've been saying one name all season, and he's been playing great. I've been watching the B team tape after the games are done, and he's had a great season down there. And I think he can contribute to us now. And that name is Vasilis Sorlis. Kid is a great player. In my opinion, he's probably the best player on that B team right now, and I think he has a place. There's two other honorable mentions. I will say the games I've watched of Kitsos, that kid's got some talent. He does. If he can be repurposed as a left back, great. But that kid's got talent. And player that has been doing well, especially the last few games, is Kosti. Ioannis Kosti. Little kid's got some goals in him. He's nothing fancy, not too much flair there. He's like a no nonsense. You know what I mean? He's very direct, gets the job done. Like Masouras-esque, right? You know, the guy isn't a world beater, but the effort's there and he can do a job. So in that respect, they don't play the same position, but I'm comparing like the profile. And then I'll give a shout to Marinos as well, because he's also looked pretty good the last few games. He's got four goal involvements, I think, in the last 3 games or 4 games. Those are my shouts. Keep an eye out for them, but especially Sorlis, my boy. He's ready. He's ready for the first team now.
Yeah, I think Adi knows more about this than any of us. I don't know, Costa, you watch some of the beats. I watch some of them, but it's like so hard to watch these games as well. Like, what a little joke this is. Like,
oh yeah,
I want to watch Olympiakos B sometimes I have no life on a Saturday afternoon. Like, come on, give me something to do. And I don't know. I'll say Pinakas I want to see one day play for Olympiakos. And a random one, Nikolic, the right back. I think maybe he could play for Olympiakos one day. He seems decent. But that's about it. I don't know shit, so I'm not going to tell you this guy's going to be a world beater or something. Like, I have no idea.
Yeah. Here, Costa, I've got 2 more from the chat, and then you can start pulling them from Insta. This one's a quick one from Babo's not a gamer. When we reach 50 league titles, are we going to have a 5th star on our badge? Yes. Yeah. Every 10. That is one. And
no, I just saw this. They're actually going to do something new. Oh. They're going to put the face of Nikeạ. It's the 5th star. Just
Stop.
Respect. Stop. Sorry, I had to do it. That's it.
I had a couple of B team players as well, because there are a lot of them. Algacin Bar guys.
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen a lot, but I think the last game we played, not yesterday, but the midweek one, the penalty that he won, he's got 2 defenders on his back and he's out-muscled them and then won the pen. And there's clearly something about this kid. I don't know if he's going to be playing for the first team next season, but there's definitely something there. And, they're saying that we managed to get him under, out from under Atletico or like some Belgian teams that wanted him as well. And Belgium has a good system here, so I wouldn't knock them. The other player that I like for some reason is Bagalianis. He's 20 or 21, but he reminds me a little bit of Manolas when Manolas started, when he was coming out at AEK and he came to Olympiakos, because when Manolas came to Olympiakos, he was raw. Yeah. He was a raw player. And, Manolas had and has that confidence and that kind of, bravado, whatever you want to call it, that magia that an Olympiakos player needs. And Bagalianis kind of gives that off a little bit. And he's quick. He goes to the ball. Viper says he's mediocre at best.
Viper says he's shit, man. Viper's out here saying Costa's talking shit.
That's what people said about Manolas.
Talking about this guy. Yeah, go ahead.
When we were beating AUA 6-2 and 5-1 in the cup games or in the league, and Jabor was scoring hat-tricks against AUA's defense, that's what people were saying about Manolas as well. That he's shit, that he'll never play at the highest level. Oh wait, he was Greece's most highly valued player in the world at 55 million euro.
But I will say this, like, what the hell happened to Kalogieropoulos? He plays 2-3 games at the end of last season. He played for the B team. They finally binned off that loser Kinkue. That was like the worst football I've ever seen. I don't know. Maybe he's still around. I shouldn't say this, but this guy was one of the worst footballers ever. I couldn't believe he was professional. Like, watching this guy Kinkue play, he would make a pass, and the ball boy was going to get one of his other passes that flew off into the field next door, and he would nail the ball boy. He was terrible. This guy Kinkue was the worst thing I'd ever seen. So my question is, what happened to this kid, Kalogieropoulos? If he's good enough to play for Olympiakos, the first team, even in meaningless playoff games, like, I don't know. I thought he was quite good. Maybe he could play. I don't know. He was like 16 as well. But that's
played the last 2 games.
Yeah, I know. They finally binned Kinkue. That guy's tragic.
I think he's injured. I think Kinkue is injured.
I wish he was like permanently injured. He's terrible. This guy's... He's terrible, man. He's like, you don't even have to watch a lot of B team. You go in for like 5 minutes. You're like, let's see the B team. And like Kinkue, like, kills Cholakis with a back pass, like nails him in the head. It's like, what the hell is that guy Kinkue doing? It's like tragic.
Here's one from Vios Memsas. Is Onyekuru a new Kazim Richards? We didn't pay $5 million for Kazim Richards. I still remember that season. When he brought in, everyone kept calling him the Coca-Cola kid. I have no idea what that was about.
I think that Onyekuru, he's had more attention on him for things that he's done off the pitch than on the pitch. Yeah, and that's his fault. What people are going to remember him so far for taking the 7 and dyeing his hair green after we lost to a green team and we got knocked out the Champions League. That's what people are going to remember Henry Onyekuru for.
Right.
But I do have that kind of sentiment, that feeling that Lambro expressed, that I think that he hasn't gelled with the team. We don't have players that can pick him out because he makes the runs God damn.
He made the damn run today at the end of the game, and no one passed him. Even the announcer was like, Onyekuru makes the run, and like
he makes those diagonal runs to try and get in behind, to try and beat the last defender. And when we play on the counter, he's dangerous. But when do we play on the counter in Greece?
Never.
We don't. So it's one of those things, is like, it doesn't fit what we need exactly.
I'll tell you one thing. When was one of his best games? I'm going to put it to you. It was at home against Frankfurt. He was fantastic.
He was subbed off at half time.
Made no sense. I
didn't.
That's why I'm saying, like, I put it in this little review thing. Like, I really think if Olympiakos has a chance at going past Atalanta, I really think, as crazy as this sounds, that Henry Onyekuru will play a role. I just think what he offers is something we don't have. And by God, we're going to need like someone on the counter probably. That's why El Arabi can't play, I think, against Atalanta. Because what is he going to do on the counter? You know what I mean? Like, I love the guy. He may come in the second half. But this is why Tiquinho may need to play. Maybe I'm an idiot, but like that's just my opinion as well. So,
question from the Costa 10. Any news about the capacity allowed for Atalanta? 50% capacity at Atalanta. I think their stadium's 19,000. So that means 10,000, and we get 10% of the tickets. That means I think we're gonna get about 500 tickets. They're trying to get some more. You need to be triple vaxxed if you're thinking about going to the game. You need to be triple vaxxed in Italy to get into the stadium. And if you're from Greece, you need to be a season ticket holder to have priority, or you need to be signed up to your local fan club. I'm going to be at that game, guys. Knock on wood. So look out for videos, vlog, etc.
Double match vlogs. I think we're doing. If we can get in the goddamn stadium, knock on wood again. Like, so.
Yeah.
Did you have some questions from Instagram, Costa?
Have we done all the questions here?
I'm sure we have.
Unless
more
some
questions.
new ones came in.
We have some right here. Again, who's starting on the wings for Atalanta? Agibu and Masuras. Take it to the bank, my friend. That's it, I think.
That's probably, I think that's probably going to be the case.
Yeah. I don't. We have this beautiful starting 11 as well. That like almost matches mine. I would love to see this team go with my team, and I just think David Fuster edges me out, like, for the win. I just
Ben Djurdjevic, Milic.
Milic. Oh, is that a remember that guy?
Yeah,
he never played.
This Ben Djurdjevic thing has got me though. Uros Djurdjevic actually was like slaying it in Segunda Division in Spain for a while.
But also Ben is like a star of Red Star Belgrade and has become a Serbian citizen. Isn't that crazy? Like he's loved there. Like they saw him score against Partizan, remember? And they were like, holy shit, this guy can't leave Serbia. That was like, they're like, we love this guy. But
yeah, and he still does stuff for them in the same manner at Olympiakos, like very awkward, just like goals that go in. They're just like, okay, it's just there's scrums, and he finds a way to get the ball in the net. The guy's absurd. It's hilarious.
Yeah,
Ivasic in goal.
Viper, yeah, mate, that's what I said. 500 tickets. So maybe Dionysus was also listening to our part. Dionysus is a good friend, actually. Big up Dionysus Verdes. Really
nice guy. I like his show as well. I'm not gonna. I enjoy watching as well, following along. And his books also at the end of the season are quite nice as well. I've passed through a few of them. But yeah. So Instagram questions, I guess, or
in the meantime, if anybody musters up the courage, we just dropped the link to join our show in the chat. So if you want to come on, have a chat with us, ask us a question, we can get you up on the pod. So let me go to Instagram and have a look at the questions. Let's see what we got. So we have couple of questions here. Why is Fadiga not getting game time? Is one of the questions. Any of you care to broach that?
I think he plays Wednesday, so I don't know.
I would have liked to see him, to be honest with you, instead of Onyekuru today. But I understand why we saw Onyekuru. But we're only going to see Fadiga. He's a long term look. He's with the first team because he's talented, but we're only going to see him in like cup games and meaningless games, I believe, in the end of the season. He's a long-term play. The kid, if you listen to my deep dive, there is something there. I mean, the kid's talented, but I don't expect him to make a break into the team for the rest of the season.
Okay. Another question. I'm just going to take this one because we need to move on. Favorite kit of all time? That's a good one. I quite like the one I'm wearing now. I think this one's 2015, I want to say, the first UNICEF kit, but this one's got nothing on it. This one's a blank one. But it's the one we wore when we signed Saviola and we had Saviola Mitroglou.
Yeah.
This
I
kit,
think I have that one too. It just has a big white box because it took so long to get a sponsor.
Yeah.
Season.
It was this kit, and the other one that I really like was the one we wore in Karaiskaki when we moved into the new Karaiskaki, the one that had Karaiskaki on the side.
Yeah,
that was nice.
The gold one. I wish I didn't ruin it, but the gold one I like a lot.
I'm gonna go out of left field here, and I was thinking of it, and I was like, the black Puma Siemens kit. Do you remember that one?
I have one
that one
downstairs. I have that.
Really?
At Liverpool, right? At Anfield, we wore that as well.
Oh, don't remind me about that game.
I know, but I love the black and red, like all black with the red badge, maybe like a red collar. Like I think that's just like.
You should have seen the black kit that we wore. I think it was 98 against Ajax. That was black and red. It was a black and red one. It was even nicer.
Yeah,
check that out. That is
such an easy like. Take my money. If they made a black kit, oh my god, that's my girlfriend. Hold on, give me a second. I gotta go.
Well, leave the poor kid alone. We've got from Viper here, Egypt, Senegal. Senegal's winning 3-2 on penalties. I actually have the live score up. I've been watching it. I've been monitoring it. So go Cisse. Come on, buddy. You can do this. This would be, I've been seeing people say on social media that this would be the first Senegalese cup win. I'll have to look that in. That's what I've been seeing on social media. If it's true or not, I don't know. I haven't verified, but would be very interesting.
The silver shirt from around 2000, says Andreas. I've got Zayelias' shirt, actually, the silver one, with the red and black trim down the side.
Yeah, that one's cool too.
Yeah, I don't have that one. I might have to find that one. What else you got?
Shirts wise, or other questions?
Other questions. I know you got a shit ton of them.
I got a lot of shirts. No, I think let's go to the next segment, shall we?
Go for it. Oh, 4-2 Senegal. 4-2 Senegal, by the way.
I think Senegal won because we have Andreas here telling us Cisse is champion. Again, does this mean he goes to Senegal and celebrates? Could you imagine if they win the cup, like, woo, and then they all hop on their private jets, like, we're out of here. Like, you know what I mean? No, like, they can't do that.
Cisse comes back shit-faced. Like.
Yeah, just like Cisse showing up Monday morning at ready to train.
Completely drunk. Like, hungover.
I'm sure he gets a couple days.
Yeah.
It starts with Panetolikos after winning Africa Cup of Nations. Like, get in there, Cisse. We need some match rhythm in you. Like, come on. They can't do that. But yeah. Let's do it. Costa and Adi, you guys start because I did my 11. I'll finish up.
Goalkeeper.
I'm still picking Nicopolidis. I'm still picking him. Yeah.
For me as well.
Saw for me. I think.
Really?
Do you see what he's doing in the Premier League? Like, it's insane. Like, this guy is incredibly talented. Like, he's insane. I
think there's some recency bias there.
I know there's recency bias there, but I'm gonna have another spot recency bias with Chimikas over Yoriatos, and I know you're all gonna be like,
what?
Yeah.
Come on.
Now, this is what I was talking about, the generational gap. You never saw Yoriatos play.
I was about to say,
I never
didn't see Yoriatos play. So,
my God. No, for me, there's no question.
No way. There's no way.
me,
Dude.
there's no
Tsimikas was
question.
good. Tsimikas
It
was
was
good.
it was
but, like,
debating. It was debatable between Arthur Masuaku, the king, Tsimikas, and Kutris. That was it. I don't know. No,
Like I would dare say that like Tsimikas and Masuaku compared to Yorgatos in Greek they say titikes. So no. Θα το έτρωγε λάχανο. My God.
yeah.
Roberto gets
Roberto's
a
good.
mention. Roberto gets a mention. He had a very solid stint for us, at least up until the end.
Yeah. Right back.
It has to be Torosidis.
I'm trying to think. Probably, I think it is. I think it's Torosidis.
It has to be. There's no, at least in my lifetime, I have never seen a right back that's been anywhere close. Torosidis was the man.
Is Omar in with a shout? It has to be honorable mention, right?
No,
He's
up there, but
yeah, he gets a shot. But guys, Torosidis, for not just the longevity, but Torosidis was always good. Like always, Torosidis was never not. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so many seasons, and he was always solid.
Yeah.
You know, Omar did have a bad season. Yeah, exactly. Omar had a couple bad seasons, and he wasn't that good, I'll be honest.
Okay. Who's your right back? Lambro.
Torosidis for me as well.
Torosidis
Omar's in with a shout because I love the guy. Like, I thought he was just...
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're actually unanimous on that one then.
Yeah, we are.
Okay. So we're unanimous on Torosidis. Viper 3 says big shout for Pados, right back.
Oh my God.
Fair enough, man.
That's a good shout. He would definitely be on my bench, 100%.
Holebas also got a shout out. I think that's interesting.
Yeah, I do like that. Holebas did good work for us when he was younger. I like this. I actually like this lineup, Viper. Melberg, for sure. Melberg gets one of my center back spots.
Also, he drops Giovanni, which I think is controversial for the older people.
Me and Viper don't get along.
But I think the center backs, it's funny that he mentions Ruben Semedo because I think Ruben Semedo for like 3 months, I was like, this is the best center back I've ever seen.
Listen,
like 2 years later, like, shit, this guy.
Regarding talent, right? If we're taking talent in with respect to everything else too, like that I think is right. We never had a center back like that was that smooth on the ball. The closest that we've brought up in the past that we could think of was maybe Retzos. And Marcano. Okay, yeah. You know what? He was good on the ball, but I never liked him. I was never a fan.
He was a bit soft. He's a bit soft, but he was really good at bringing the ball out. Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
But I feel like Felipe Santana also was decent on the ball, but
come on, man. Are you serious right now?
It's like the constant throw tonight.
Yeah, I'm on a good one. But yeah. But what are we? Manolas Melberg, I think, is like the easy answer here, right?
Probably. That's probably.
I think for me too. Oh no! What about Jorge Bermudez? Who remembers Jorge Bermudez?
No, you're dating me, man. I don't remember.
You don't remember Bermudez?
No, I don't.
He's the one. He was the Boca Juniors captain that came in that summer and got in a fight with Eleftheropoulos and Panetolikos after the Deportivo game.
I remember the fight. I just barely remember him playing.
Yeah, but he didn't play that much. That was like the first game of the campaign, I think, and we.
Yeah,
and then they ruined him. But anyway, no, I think Olaf and Manolas.
I think Olaf and Manolas is very fair. I think it's very fair.
And this one, it gets hard. Like once you start going here, like to the midfield.
Well, the midfield for me is going to be. I'm gonna take a deeper lying Ibagaza as one of my deeper midfielders. Like if I'm like for me, it's gonna be a 4-2-3-1, and then Adzas, yes.
Adzas was brilliant.
He is brilliant.
If he didn't get injured, he'd be playing for Real Madrid, Barcelona, or Juventus.
Didn't somebody tell us that?
I probably did.
Okay, maybe it was. I thought somebody.
He's like, did someone like there tell us that? Like,
yeah, very good player. Very, very good player.
But Adi, go on. Your midfield is Ibagaza, deep line, and then
Ari's thinking too hard. He's like, oh my God, what would I do?
Yeah.
I'm going to wet myself.
I'm having,
I think
this midfield is like, that's my
Guilherme
position. I love that stuff. So it's very tough. Guilherme, Carabé. So Carabé is like the first one that comes to mind. I'll be honest with you. But then like thinking about it, like Guilherme, like, okay, maybe he wasn't here as long. But then I also think of that season we had Yaya Toure, you know, and he was solid. So like, the midfield is like, that's a position I love. So this is a really tough decision for me to pick. To like,
I also forget how good Guilherme was. Like, fuck's sake, that guy was a baller.
He
really
was absurd.
Guilherme was very good.
How did we look into that guy? Like, what the hell? Like, what? But
you know what? I'm just gonna stick with Ibagaza and Carabé. And that was not initially the line, the two center mids, the deeper ones that I picked or that I thought about in the beginning. But that's what I have to go.
Who were the ones you thought of, Ari?
Well, in the beginning, I was thinking of Adzas, and I was also thinking of Guilherme. But at the same time, I was going back and forth because like Yaya Toure. Well, I mean, I know also like because his career took off, like that season with him stuck with me a little bit longer. But I'm going to stick with it because I'll keep flip-flopping. What about you guys?
Oh, my God.
It's so difficult. It's really difficult.
There's one that you guys haven't even thought of that I have, and I'm going to tell you who it is. Do you want to try and guess who I'm thinking about?
I have one who we haven't brought up too. Luka Milivojevic I really loved as a player as well. I think he's just not... You know what I mean? Like he's not like in that tier, but he's like right there, you know?
Well, there's Zay, there's Zay, yeah, too. Like, okay. You can't forget him. And then
I'm gonna give major props to whoever guesses who I'm thinking about as my defensive midfielder. All I'm gonna say is he's left-footed. And it's not Zay, yes.
And it's not
anyone care to guess? Fuck
Yanis. Left-footed.
Left-footed midfielder.
Like
played for the club from northern Greece. Bravo, Costa.
Stoltidis. That's also a great
Stoltidis was brilliant, man.
Bralakis is from Crete, man. Platon, come on, man. He's letting us down. He's from close to Heraklion.
I think Stoltidis was such a great player for us, man. Like that breakout season when we started winning games in Europe away from home, like that game that he did against Werder Bremen at home, the 2 goals that he scored, and generally like his performances that campaign, absolutely insane, and an absolute dog in midfield, like warrior. He bled the shirt. He's not the most technically gifted player, but he was outstanding, like performance and what he gave. Is he in my starting 11? Fuck it, I'm going to put him there. So I'm going to put him there, like Akis, Stoltidis, and Yaya. And Yaya, just pure talent and career afterwards was just absolute rocket.
I think I would go... Guilherme. I would go old and new. I think that's what I would do.
I actually like that. But the most important question is about to come up, though. And who would be your 10? Who is your best number? This is such a tough one for Olympiakos. But who are you picking?
Giovanni.
Oh, but okay. So for me, I would want to like mess with the formation and have Giovanni up front because there's another player I want to include as my 10.
Chori Dominguez, of course, has to be the 10. No, come on.
No, it's not Dominguez. It's not Dominguez. It's a player I idolized when I was younger.
Who's a Zetterberg?
No.
A 10.
He's Greek.
Kostas Fortounis, the king.
No.
Niniadis.
Okay. No.
Karapialis.
That's it. Come on. He's like the best 10 Greece has ever had. The best Greek player. Come on.
Prime Fortounis over. It's just me.
I love Karapialis. I loved. Oh well, Hadjipanagis didn't.
But he didn't play for us. Fair enough.
Right. Yeah, so for me, like I I would be betraying my younger self if I did not include Karapialis. So like I would have to have him. I would have Giovanni as my striker in this starting 11 just to have him. Who would you guys pick for your 10?
I would take. Oh, it's difficult.
Oh, what a shout! What a shout here, Velikaris. Oh,
Velikaris. Yeah, that's a good one.
You know, for the work rate, I'm taking David Fuster on the left wing. That's it. No, I'm just joking. But I kind of want to go with. I need Chori Dominguez in my starting 11. Like I love the guy too much. And I want to start Galetti as well. Is that fair?
Galetti's my right.
That's
wing.
I was about to say he's going to be my right wing. Well,
Sorry,
you know how it would be so good? Chori at the 10, Kevin Miralas on the left, and Galetti on the right. Like I think that would be really good. But
how can you leave Djordjevic?
Yeah, let's say you can't.
I know.
Come on, man.
But that team is dynamic. God damn it! Like that 3 could just destroy teams. Like I don't know. Like modern football wise, you know, a fast Kevin Miralas, Galetti. I don't. You know what I mean?
Bro, did you see Djordjevic when he could run and wasn't smoking 40 cigarettes a day?
I did not. I will say. I will say I did not.
Djordjevic was insane, man.
And then I think the
Oh,
original killer Kostas Mitroglou has to start for me.
He has a shout.
That's it.
He has a shout.
Yeah. And I wouldn't start Giovanni. That's it, because he's too lazy. So I don't think we would have been able to do it in Europe with him. That's it.
The things that Giovanni did on the pitch you've never seen in your life, bro.
Yeah. No,
it's just too much walking around, man. Too much walking. Too much.
Yeah, he was walking around and everybody else was in slow motion, and he was
exactly.
Not
it didn't matter. It didn't matter. He was too good. Well, we do have somebody waiting here in the room. Michalis Alexiou. And Michali, while we have you here, give us your all-time Olympiakos 11.
Ask the man where he's from first.
Yeah.
Yes, Kalispera.
Kalispera.
Sorry, I remembered from a previous episode. I forgot that there's people that don't recognize you. But yes, I apologize.
It's very difficult.
Welcome.
I really don't know. My goalkeeper would be, of course, Nikopolidis, I think.
Love it.
For sure. As center back, Manolas on the one hand, and Olof Mellberg. As left back, difficult, very difficult.
How old are you, bro?
I don't know. Left back is very difficult. Right back. Very difficult question. But in the middle field, middle field as number 10, for me, I agree 100%. It's Jorge Dominguez, 100%.
Oh, yes, thank you. God bless you. Yes.
How old are you? How old are you, buddy?
21. That's the problem.
Oh,
I don't even know.
I wonder. That is so
the young
young.
people love Chori Dominguez. Chori Dominguez made us love football. Like this guy was like our generation's Giovanni. I feel like this guy was magic.
I remember there's one goal against Aruca from Portugal.
Oh yeah.
That was one of the nicest goals he'd ever scored. I still remember it. Unbelievable.
I remember the Malmo goal where we thought we could still get through in that group of Atletico.
I think it was.
Yeah, that was a crazy game.
Yes. The most Alitia goal that Chori Dominguez scored in his career at Olympiakos.
The cup final with Xanthi.
Well, that was the most ridiculous, but Alitia was the goal he scored against United.
Yeah.
The flick.
The flick. Yeah, gorgeous.
That was pure shithousery. It was beautiful.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I accept your 10 though. It's okay. You're too. Yeah. I will say that the youth. You didn't witness the grandeur.
Greatness.
Like I'm not taking it away. Dominguez was a wonderful player, like an amazing player. But I promise you guys, just go watch like clips, an hour of clips. Who said this? Magnatis. Who credits to Magnatis? I lost my train of thought because of you, Stratos. But good, continue with the rest of your 11.
Who's your striker, Michali?
Striker, as I remember the goals from Mitroglou against Anderlecht.
That's fair.
That is, of course, not Oscar Cardozo and Nίκαια, but
Good comment. Strong one.
I don't know. Djurdjevic was very good too. No, Mitroglou is my first one, and of course El Arabi. I remember every time the goal against Arsenal in Emirates. This was my personally favorite goal he ever scored for us, and beautiful striker. What do you think? Will he renew his contract with Olympiakos or not?
That's a good question, but I have one comment to make as well. Rafik Jebbour, a shout out. Grenoble strong, let's go. Alps, France. God. But I think he's an honorable mention. But will he renew? I don't. Honest gut feeling right now, I don't think he's going to renew. I think it would have happened by now. I don't know. I have a bad feeling, but there's no information. It's just
me too, because he doesn't play now. Martins thinks now they choose Suarez, and maybe there will be Bar next season as a second striker. We don't know.
Oh God,
I don't know. Costa, what is your opinion? Because I feel like you kind of read these things well as well.
We did a video on this actually.
Yeah, we did
on El Arabi. Did I do that one? I can't remember. Goddamn. I think the fact that it's gone silent now isn't boding well, but it's 50-50. 50-50 in my view, whether he renews. I don't think he's going to get the same money that he's asking from a European club. And if he's going to get more money, or that 2 million or that 2.5 million that he's asking, he's only going to get it from Qatar. My opinion is that I don't think that he's going to be our number one striker next season. I think he's a luxury for Greece and that he deserves the money he gets now, and he'll be top scorer again at the end of the season. But I think that it's time that we either believe in Tiquinho as our number one striker next season, or we need to think about just saying thank you and moving on. Too many strikers, man. Yeah,
I think that's a good point. And Adi, before you give your response, I want to say, I just don't think in modern football, if Olympiakos wants to take a next step in Europe, if it wants to qualify for the Champions League, a striker at 36, El Arabi, who's not so mobile, who's not well in pressing, can take us to the next level, if that makes sense. I'm trying to think back to big European games when we've won very well, and of course El Arabi's been part of some of those, but I really think we just need a Guerrero type who will press, but like can score a goddamn goal, right? But like someone do you remember Guerrero, how high he would press? Sometimes he would block the goalkeeper from even passing the ball out. Like I think back to Brownie Day. Some people think he's shit. Some people thought he was good, but the pressing and running was huge, and I really think that's a big benefit in Europe when you're on the counterattack or when you're not holding the ball so much. You have a player who can run, and El Arabi doesn't do that. So I don't see how he works in the modern scheme of things in a European game. Coming like with Atalanta, can you play El Arabi against Atalanta for over 65, 70 minutes? I don't think so. And I'm one of the biggest fans of El Arabi, so
yes, we know
it's difficult for me to say that. But Adi,
no, I love El Arabi, but no, I agree with every point you made. For me, it's like it's always a value proposition for me. So if he's willing to accept less money, then I probably would keep him if he's willing to accept less money and maybe a different role. But what you get from him when his hold-up play isn't good. And for a lot of this season, the hold-up play has not been good. And he got that 2 million because he was banging goals and his hold-up play was stellar. But when his hold-up play dips and you are relying just on his goal-scoring ability, that goal-scoring ability as it stands is not worth 2 million. Otherwise, we would have paid Hassan 2 million too, if that were the case. But no, his value is in his goal-scoring ability and his hold-up play. As he slows down, his hold-up play declines. He doesn't have that value. Honestly, this team needs a younger striker to grow with the team. I'll be honest with you. Tiquinho, I think, is a great option that we're going to have going forward for the next couple of years. But I really hope that we have a young guy. And I'm not saying that this could be Pinakas. Maybe one day it could be. But I would like to see a young striker that can grow with the team, that can help propel us forward, that has that ball playing ability, that can also do some of the stuff that El Arabi does, which is why he got paid so much. That's my thoughts on the whole thing.
Yeah, for sure. He isn't on that level as he was last year. Maybe we should find another one or a younger one from the B11. Difficult situation, but 2 million is, for my opinion, too much for him to offer.
Yeah.
For that, what he shows us in the games right now.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe Adi knows best, maybe, but Kyle Ladin, is he a player you would throw big money at and be like, okay, you're going to be the guy? You know, his name's been thrown around. I think it's cooled off, but he's 26, 27.
I would throw for what we would consider for Olympiakos good money. But if what we've heard is correct and that he wants 3 million euros a season, I'm not giving him that money. I'm sorry. That's almost, even though he would be free coming in, that's still a really big risk for us. You know what I mean? That's a really big risk. And the guy is talented. He's a very talented player. But at 3 million a season, it's a big risk for us, for somebody that, you know, might not give us at 3 million a season. This guy's got to be a genius for us. And that's way too much pressure to have on a player like that to come into Greece, because God forbid he doesn't perform at that genius level. It doesn't matter what he does. It's not going to be enough for 3 million a season. So I would, no, not for 3 million a season. I'm not bringing in Kyle Ladin, even though I think he's a talented player.
It's a tough one. It's really tough question. I don't know, guys. It's been an hour and a half. Are we thinking of wrapping up? I don't know.
Michali never gave us his wing backs. Maybe? We never got a right back or left back. Yeah, we never got your wing backs.
The wings are very difficult. Predrag Djordjevic, of course, he's one of my favorites from the old squads. And from the news, on the wing, yes, of course, Pudense. His goal against Tottenham was just a beauty. It was 2-2, okay. But in my opinion, we sold him very early. We could keep him for 1 year. But yes, the Tahrimata is what we wanted to have, and Marinakis wanted to have. Very difficult.
We can't keep players like that in Greece, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Not these days. These days.
As you watch the derby against Panetolikos, and then think there are big players who are playing these games, they think how treli we are in Greece to play like that.
Yep. Well, Michali, thank you so much for joining us, buddy.
Thank you very much. And καλό βράδυ και τα λέμε σίγουρα.
Καλό βράδυ.
Absolutely. Καλό βράδυ. Enjoy the rest of what's remaining of this weekend. And guys, thank you everyone for listening, especially if you've made it this far. Look, if you haven't done it already, please hit that subscribe button at the bottom. This project is bigger than I've imagined. Costa, I know, foresaw a little bit more than I did. But thank you guys so much, and please continue to help us create this network and this community of Olympiakos fans. This thing is becoming awesome, and it's only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So please hit that subscribe button, get your friends to do it also, and continue to interact with us on social media. We love when you guys interact with us. We love getting your opinions. We love getting your data that you guys share with us. Some people share with us their own stats that they record and they take. We love all of it. So please, guys, each and every one of you, if you haven't done so already, hit that button, and we'll see you next time.
Ari,
yeah.
One more thing before we go, because it's an important date for all Olympiakos fans, 8th of February, 1981, Remembrance Day for the victims of the Gate 7 tragedy. 21 lives lost. forever will be in our memories, guys. That tragedy. It's a sad day for us, but it's a day for remembrance, and yeah, that's an important date for us on the 8th. Just wanted to mention that as well. And it's been, I don't mean to end on a more somber note, but it has been one of those weeks in Greece as well that's been marred by violence, the death of a 19-year-old because of football, because he supported a football team. And I'll end with, I really hope that I will live to see the day that in Greece we can go to a football game, Olympiakos fans, Panetolikos fans, like actually to enjoy football. That's my wish.
Yep. And mine as well, Costa. Thank you so much for bringing that up as well. I would have been remiss. I would have been kicking myself after the show for not remembering to bring all of that up. But thank you, Costa. Thank you, guys. This is Gate 7 International, and we'll see you next time.
You just listened to an episode of the Gate 7 International podcast, a podcast connecting Olympiakos fans from Brussels to Tokyo, from Toronto to Geneva. We are 4 Olympiakos fans from every corner of the world, bringing you news and interviews of the team you love in English. With new episodes twice a week, you will never miss out on the latest updates and stories of the team you love. If you liked what you heard, make sure to follow us on social media at Gate7INTL, give us a subscribe on YouTube, or even leave a review on all our podcast channels. Until next time, this is our team, our city and our story. Θρύλος είσαι. Στο μυαλό κάτι μαγικό.